fiasco. Seemed really like
Too bright.
strobe lights going on in here. So. Anyways, so I'm pretty tired, but I was gonna chat a bit about something, but I am pretty tired, so I don't know how long this is gonna be. It might not be one of them marathon, a 5 hour. Yeah. I'm getting sleepy. So, it's Friday, right? I totally lose track of the days in Vegas. But, I don't even know, like, how long I'm gonna be on here, but you know, I was so irritated because,
You got so much stuff, right?
Are you okay? Excuse me. Oh my goodness. I know, and the bunny is like gonna try. Well, I really hope he doesn't chew on those cords, because that's like. Whoa. Right. Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah. No, I like how you just had it. Yeah, that's good. Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. Yeah, no. Some of those are like blind you. Oh my gosh! So I had to get on here because I had this realization. So my bunny is doing so good, guys. He's so cute. He's like running around. He's so, but of course not this minute as I say that. But I thought I like broke him. I thought I like because I vacuumed around him when he was so small. I thought maybe I really like traumatized him, because he really for like a day was like kind of just like terrified of me, which was yesterday. But now today he's doing so good. But this is why I got so upset. I was talking to Rich. I was like, make sure you close the door here, because he's been just going nuts. He's running around our room, and he's got his little hutch, so that we'll put him in later. But I said, make sure to close it, like close the door, and like make sure you always close it, because there, you know, Gloria had a mice problem here, so I was thinking there's literally like rat poison around the place. But then, get this. I'm sitting there with my buddy. I'm like having like this beautiful moment. I'm like, la la la. And I'm like, oh, he's so sweet. And he's so cute. And he's so little. Because he's only like 4 weeks old. And then Richard's like, oh yeah, and all the rat traps. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, it didn't even dawn on me. And I was like, oh my God, this is insane. Like, I shouldn't have to worry about when I get a brand new bunny that, like, he might go out there and literally be killed by, like, one of those quick kill rat traps. That is insane. And, like, I started crying thinking about it, and I'm like, that is insane. And so I made Richard go undo all of the traps out there. But I'm like, oh my God, I mean, it's upsetting me. I literally started, like, panicking. I'm like, that is crazy. Like, that is such a bad environment. Like, can you imagine having a child here? Oh my gosh. Like, I wouldn't have even brought a bunny in this environment, but someone literally donated it to me. They said, we want you to have this bunny for you guys, basically, and they couldn't really take care of it. He was trying to make sure that the cord was moving a little bit, so you have to watch, you know, they like to chew on cords a little bit, but he's doing so good today, and he's so good. But I was like, that really upsets me, that I have to worry about that. And just that, you know, that's the kind of environment Richard and Annette lived in their whole life. And everyone's always like, why are you bitching about Gloria and stuff? And I really don't want to ever. And I really always want to hope it'll get better. And like literally earlier today, it was so good. And I was like, wow, really, maybe it'll like really go well with us now. And like, maybe like there won't be any more like controversy, and we won't even be that interesting to anybody online, because we're just going to get along great. And me and Gloria were like, even though we got the cops called on us yesterday, but we were laughing about it and stuff. And I apologized for throwing pancakes at her, and she was like, oh, you know, because, you know, I was really mad at her that day. But But I shouldn't have thrown pancakes at her. I mean, I get that. That was, but I was actually kind of trying to prove a point of like, she only reacted when I threw the pancakes, when I was like literally saying like, you almost killed your daughter and you can't get even a reaction or a sorry or even acknowledgement. And then I threw the pancake and then she's like, oh. And that was the only time like I'd been saying all this stuff. Because I mean, Annette was dying before we came in here, and but he keeps doing this. I literally was like, I'm not gonna get caught off guard this time while I'm doing this thing, and he's so sneaky. You don't hear him, and there he is. He's so cute. He literally he looks like a little gremlin with his little. Oh, he's too active right now. But anyways, so cute. So what was I talking about? I am so tired. We were just like, oh yeah, I was talking to him. And now he's like, every time I'm talking, he's like, well, you might as well just go online and talk. I'm like, I think you just get tired of hearing me talk. So, but makes you guys listen to me talk. So they have fun with that. But I went to work and I was like, I'm tired. But then little Mr. Bunny is all active. And I was having such a good time with him. And then they brought up that rat trap thing. And I'm like, that is the worst thing I could even fathom. Like, that thought didn't even cross my mind. And that's crazy, too, because I forgot those were even out there. And I'm like, oh, my gosh, that would... But then I'm like, that is just awful. That is... I mean, I hated that we even had to do that to mice. Believe me, I am a total animal person, but it was insane. I mean, they had taken over the house. It was absolutely, I'd never seen such big mice. They were like bigger than the rats in New York City. It was insane. We still have a couple. They were actually just tearing some stuff up the other day, and one lives in the kitchen. Another one lives in the garage. They're too smart. They don't fall for anything. But we kind of like pets now because there's only a couple of them. But it used to be insane around here. It was like the worst environment you could ever imagine. Like, I wanted to be homeless instead of living here, and we did. We slept on the street. Do you know what we did actually? Do you know what we did for the first month when we were here? Is we slept in the car in the front of the house because in the garage it would get too hot. So we would sleep. We'd have to park the car in front of the house. The tackiest people are in the neighborhood we are. And me and Richard, he would sleep in the front. It was it's not our car now. It was Gloria's car, which was actually Richard's car that we lent to Gloria when we went to Panama, and she never gave back to us, and it became hers, so whatever. Anyways. But, so it was the Mercedes E320. It was a 2002, so it's a pretty big car. But Richard would recline in the front seat all the way back. And then I would, try to find another way to fit in there. Because it was weird. It was like, yeah, wait, no, that wasn't the situation. He must have been in the back seat. I'm trying to remember what we did. No, he must have been in the back. I'm like, how is it? No, because that would have worked. We could have both reclined back. I'm like, literally, this is some things I forget. No, it must have been Richard took the back seat. Richard, in the car, did you sleep in the back seat?
I don't remember, but did you tell them about how Gloria put all the blankets on the front with and then brought them inside and covered with bed bugs? Did you tell them about what happened?
I'm getting
we
there.
literally cleaned out the bedroom.
I'm getting there.
No, well, tell them, because this is ridiculous.
I'm getting there.
And I come back in there, and she made the bed with the old bed.
Oh, God, yeah, I'm getting
And then I told her to take rid of it, and I come back, and it's still on there 6 hours later.
Well, I was getting there, like, we had to sleep in the car when we first lived here. That's how absolutely insane it is here. I can't even remember. I think he had the back seat, so then I was, like, trying to sleep in the front, across the thing. I don't even remember. Whatever. The point is, it was not comfortable in the car. But it was better than getting eaten alive by bed bugs in the house. And the rats, I couldn't do it. The mice, I couldn't do it. It just, yeah. I still do this. I mean, It's insane. The house was taken over by mice. Like, I'm probably being low on the numbers when I say like hundreds. It was like the house was overtaken by mice. They thought it was their house. Like, we had like a war against the mice when we got here. It was insane. We had to set up so many traps, and they were dying like 3 in a trap at a time. It was creepy, but sometimes they wouldn't die, so it'd be like some of them would just be screaming, and it was so awful. So you'd have like 1 dead one and then 2 that just had their legs broken, and it was like, and then Gloria would be like, someone kill them. That's not gonna be me. Oh, so then Gloria would get the great idea to dunk them in water. She'd think that would drown them, but they didn't drown, and then they just suffered all day, and like, oh, it was so bad. It was so bad, and it went on for so long because there were so many, and Gloria would be like, yay, we got him. She would always be happy when she killed them, which I was always like, that's terrible. But at least we don't have so many. But she'd be like, yeah, because Gloria doesn't like animals. So she was like, did not mind that they were being killed. I couldn't. I was like, you guys do it. I'm not doing that. So that's the one thing I say, you guys handle that. I'm not setting a trap. I'm not taking an animal out of a trap. I'm not doing any of that. That is not going to happen. That's where no. So, they had to deal with all that, but I had to hear the animals. So, back to today. So things like that are why I get a little bit irritated when today I spent all day trying to deal with this bedbug thing. And then when we were sitting here, okay, so there was a reason why I didn't finish making the bed. Like why I didn't put a comforter on yet and the rest of the pillows, and why we left them outside. Because we were still debating, like, are we going to salvage any of them? Because we did just get some of them, and like I could put them in the wash and stuff. Or do we just toss them all and just start new? And that was what we were leaning towards. But we definitely were not bringing them in anytime soon. We were leaving them outside with the rest of the nasty stuff, which actually being in the Vegas sun helps to kill the stuff out there, but we're not dealing with that. It's just gonna go in the backyard for now until we can just deal with this, and try to get this room this bedbug thing is pretty much impossible to even, it's insane. But her room was so bad that we can at least make it way less. So it's like our room is way less now than it used to be. Like, it used to be insane. We still have bugs. I get bit every night. But it's not like it was, and hers won't be like it was. It'll be more like ours now. And so then we still get bit all the time, but not to the level where you're like literally covered in your entire body with bites. So, and your bed is filled with blood from all of the dead bugs when you have to kill them. It's really fantastic for someone who's like a clean freak. Yeah. Anyways, so, I really am, and it's insane living here. Oh, there he is. He didn't catch me this time. I saw him. Yeah, I saw you, you sneaky. Doesn't he look like a gremlin? But yeah, so Gloria went and got all of the nastiest, one of the blankets that I would have never brought back in. That thing needed to be burned. This disgusting pink thing. That was already it was disgusting. Annette had got like cigarette burns all over it and stains all over it. It was disgusting. It was just like filled with bed bugs. We would have never, that thing needed to be burned right away. Gloria brought that back onto the new bed that I just spent all day trying to get rid of this, and brought back all the pillows. And so I was still blogging, and so Richard told me, and I was like, get that off and tell her to get that off. And so he told her, and she got all mad. So she didn't remove the stuff. She took the pillows and put them in Annette's closet in a hamper. And then she left the pink blanket on there. And so I was still blogging. I didn't know. So it was like an hour that this disgusting pink blanket was back on the freshly, hopefully, try to get rid of bed bug issue, brand new bedding and everything. And I even took out the carpet below the bed to try to deal with this. and she brings it right back on. And then when we told her, take that off, and she like is upset that we're mad that she brought this stuff on there. Like she's like, ugh, like all like slighted and stuff about it. And we're like, are you? I mean, we didn't yell at her or anything. We were just like take it off. Like she gets mad if like you even ask, like if she did something wrong. Like we don't even say it like meanly. We're just like, take those off. Like you can't have those on there because we just cleaned it. Not even like it's aggressive. We're just not as emotional as me. But if you ever say she did something wrong at all, she gets so upset and then pouts. So she's been pouting all night long. Gloria's been pouting all night. When Annette just got like a brand new bed, she should be happy for her. We're really trying to help this thing. Gloria feels no happiness when Annette is happy, and that is sick because her daughter is feeling so much better for the first time in her life, and Gloria is upset about that because Gloria wants her to be sick because Gloria needs Annette to like her because nobody likes Gloria and nobody has ever liked Gloria because she's a horrible person and she pretends to be nice, and yeah, sometimes her little Latin like not understanding English thing is cute, but it's not, because underneath she's a really hateful, spiteful, nasty person, and she doesn't like anybody who's better than her. So like if you succeed, she tries to bring you down because she's jealous because she's not successful. So her children and her husband were super successful, and she always brought them down. And and I've seen her, she does not get excited at all when they're doing good. She's only excited when they're doing really bad and when they need her. And she got really, really excited when the cops came and she thought they were coming for me because she thought then she was right, that I'm out of line. And she was so excited to tell me that this morning when she's like, oh yeah, they said, oh, is Joy abusing you? And stuff, like all this attitude and stuff. And she's like, eh. And but she thought it was just so funny, and then she thought everyone was on her side. It's not even like this side thing, but she's the one picking sides because she hates me. I want to like her. I just don't appreciate when she does those things, and I wouldn't even care. We'd be like, that's fine. But then she sulks just because we said, don't put the old blankets on a brand new, trying to get rid of a bed bug problem. You brought the bed bugs right back onto the bed. Like literally the worst ones. Like the most bedridden blankets back onto the brand new bed that we just spent all day ripping out the carpet, steam cleaning, cleaning the walls of 409. And I built the bed, and we got a new mattress and a new mattress cover and new sheets. And we ordered today a new comforter and pillows, and we put new pillows, and you wanted so bad to be involved because you're such a nasty individual that you hate when anybody else is getting any attention. And she hates me, so she hates when anybody likes me, which I don't care if people hate me. I just want her kids to not suffer. I don't care. You guys, half of you guys hate me. Probably 95% hate me. I threw pancakes at Gloria at an 81-year-old lady. My mother-in-law. Most of the people are like, this psychopath. So I don't care because I know what I'm doing is right, because I am helping people who were suffering because this lady doesn't care. And they're such nice people that they were like, oh, our mom's just helpless and it's okay. She basically abused us our entire life and like plays this victim card. And if you ever challenge her on anything, she sulks or gets really aggressive. So she used to get really, really aggressive. And Gloria is violent. So you guys, like now she's with the pancakes, but she is really, really violent. Like she used to beat Annette every day. She came at her with brooms every single day and would beat her out of the house because Annette would be on meth, which Gloria would say she wasn't on meth, but she was. And so Annette would be like yelling and get very aggressive in the house. So Gloria would beat her out of the house with a broom and tell her never to come back and stuff. And I'd be like, I hope she comes back. I mean, early on we didn't step in at all because it wasn't our place. I mean, we were just here because we knew that Annette needed us, but we didn't know to what capacity we could take over. if that makes sense. So it was like a slow thing. So early on, we just first started to try to make Annette's life any better in any way that we could. So like we made sure that the bills were paid, but at first we weren't like actually caring for Annette. We were like making sure the household was not crumbling. So I was getting rid of the hoarding situation, and we were cleaning up Annette's room, which we've been cleaning up her room. It was insane. It was so much more insane than it even was today when we first got here. There was so many levels of insanity that was going on. It's insane. And we still have to fix, she has 2 broken windows. They were just fully like open and exposed when we first got here. We had to put some doors up, which don't, and I had like duct tape. It's horrible. And we got to get those fixed. That's our next thing, probably our next big project. But anyways, it was insanity in amount of like disgusting. She had this disgusting desk in there, and she had that disgusting cot that was burnt, and it was like all this disgusting furniture in there that, and the mice really had taken over in that room. It was so bad, and the amount of clothes that were just, they had like piles of clothes and cigarette butts, and just, it was insane. And the amount of Diet Coke cans and cigarette butts in that room was insane. Because I clean that up all day long now. Like, Annette can pretty much fill up her room in a day with that. So imagine, like, no cleaning. The insanity of this house. There was really no floor when we first arrived. I mean, you pretty much just walked on things. Usually it was clothes. And especially in the closet, the level of, like, was about this high of clothes on the floor. So you kind of climbed into the closet. Now here's our closet. Yeah, my closet now. Anyways, this was Gloria's room, but she didn't want it. She never came in here because you couldn't walk in the room, and it was overtaken by mice and the bed bugs in the bed. Oh Lord, we had this disgusting headboard we had to get rid of too that was infested. It's actually still on the side of the house because I didn't know how to dispose of this thing. Gloria apparently knows how to dispose of stuff, so we'll find out. She's the expert, so hopefully. So she did such a good job disposing of everything the last 12 years. Now the other things she got slighted about is like she's the expert on how to get rid of trash disposal, since she never did for 12 years, but she knew exactly how they're going to pick up the mattress, and it doesn't cost any money else. We're like, oh, okay, sure. I hope that's the case. Seems pretty hefty job for free, but that'd be awesome if they do. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. We got to call. I don't think Gloria ever knows what she's talking about, but that would be fantastic if this is the one time she knows what she's talking about, and they will pick up your mattresses for free. Especially a bed bug ridden one. That's gonna be a good one. All right. But yeah, the things that come out of her mouth, sometimes you're just like, I mean, okay, so I think in my other blog I was talking about habitual liars. She's one of those, you're like, you don't even know like how the thought could have gone to there. Like, that's almost like such an elaborate story for you. Where did that come from? Like, it's sometimes her level of like lies are so weird. It must be from her little novellas or something. I don't know. I think she does get confused sometimes. It's weird. She does sometimes like go to. It must be weird because she kind of lives in Spanish all day long. But then we're the only ones that like bring her back to English, because she literally only watches Spanish TV, and that's all she does all day is watch TV. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I've never seen someone just, and especially a woman and a mom and an older lady. I mean, she just zones into it. Like, I mean, she's like to the TV, the novellas, and all day long. From the second she wakes up, that TV. I mean, usually it doesn't even turn off. She usually has it on. Oh, which I hate TV. Oh, that is one thing. These three, I love TV. And the TVs, I usually got 3 of them on in the house, and I would prefer 0 TVs. That would be my preference. I can't stand it. I mute them and turn them off all the time. Well, not in Nets. In Nets, I always try to put on music because they put on bad stuff, and I'm like, that's not good for her energy. You know, she'd be watching the negative stuff on the news. She'd want me watching the CNN. I'm like, that's not good. She don't need to hear about all that nonsense because that's such a sensitive being. That's not good. So I like to put on music for her because she really loves music. So I put on the music channels. But I'll come back and she got some weird stuff on there. She often puts on like the religious channels. Like, turn that crap off. You know. Y'all are, that's good. I grew up very religious, so been there, done that. But anyways, yeah, what a crazy day. I'm getting very tired. But I think there was something else I was going to talk about that I totally forgot now. I don't even know. There was a judge show. I'll tell you what. I just find TV to be so, like, mind-numbing. That's a good word. I love social media, though. I think social media is awesome because, well, probably just because it's so much more real and it's so much more right there, like this is live, you know, and that's cool. Where TV, you never know when they filmed it. Also, I'm very irritated with, you never know, like, if people are actually together anymore because, you know, they do the things where they do, oh, these people in the back of someone's head, and then it's in the back of someone's head, and you're like, are people ever actually together? Or is it always just filmed? This person comes in and does his lines and shots or whatever, and you know. And now with all the CGI and also with green screens and stuff, you like wonder, is everyone just still sitting at home during the pandemic? They're not really actually on these sets, and you know, like Judge Judy was doing that at home during the pandemic, and then I was like, did she ever really come back, or is it just making it look like she's actually there but she's actually at home? I was like watching a show because, yeah, during the pandemic a lot of people did that kind of stuff, and people got lazy during the of like they thought, oh, this is much easier, like we don't have to actually go anywhere or do anything, you know. Not with me. Actually, I had to work harder during the pandemic, so I'm happy that's over. But anyways, you guys, so I can't believe, oh my gosh,
Hi, Bunky.
I can't believe how cute my bunny is today, and I'm so happy because I really thought that I hurt him, and I think the sick thing is some people probably would have been like, oh, so you are a bad person, oh, you killed your bunny or whatever. And that just would be wrong, because why it'd be wrong is it'd be like, why would the universe even give me the bunny? Like, that just wouldn't even be right. Because I'm one of those people that, like, you know how people say, like, everything happens for a reason? It's not necessarily like everything happens for a reason. It's just the universe isn't that as messed up as people think. It's not like they're not going to do that. They're not going to have it be like, oh, this bunny had a great life over here, but we're going to give it to you guys, and it's going to, like, have a super traumatic experience and then die in 2 days or something like that. And it'd be like, why would you do that to a creature? Like, that doesn't make sense. People go, oh no, things like that happen in the universe. And I'm like, you know, I don't think it's ever to that level. And also, it's probably to somebody who's kind of an asshole, you know what I mean? But like someone who's like truly an innocent, like, little being, I'm like, nah, that ain't gonna happen. Not this little guy. He's bringing so much happiness. But yeah, I think people have a very they think the universe is nasty, you know, or would do things, and it's like, no, it's actually people that do nasty things to other people, but the universe would never. But it seems like it could be the universe, but it's usually like this thing. This is not like a universe thing of like that the house ended up this way. It's Gloria did not take care of stuff. She neglected it. So that's like, and now we're having to deal with it. It's not like a punishment. It's literally just like, when you don't take care of stuff, then this is what will happen later. And that's, people will be like, oh, I'm being punished. No, it's just you choose things, and then those things, it's not even like necessarily, I don't want to say consequence or whatever, but it's literally like that, just it's the road you went down, you know what I mean? And then so you can't really complain later, because every situation that you're in, ultimately you're in that because you chose that. That's like, I'm here because I want to be. I could totally leave in a second. I mean, I'm a married in person. I'm not blood here. I could leave. but I'm not ever gonna leave because I want to be here. Even though it's as crazy as it is, because for one thing, I don't want to leave and have it go back to the way it was. I just wouldn't do that. But also, I mean, I love all of these people, even Gloria. I love her. I mean, it drives me absolutely insane, but I love her, and I take care of her. I always make sure she has what she needs. That's why it's funny when they come and try to act like she's never gonna say I don't, because I literally take care of everything, and she knows that. She doesn't want to accept it, but she knows it, and she does thank me when she's in a good mood. And when we have our moments, but she knows that I bring in the money and the extra money, and she knows that I do all the shopping, and she knows that I'm the one that picks lessons, because when I go to New York, she knows what it's like when I'm not here. So she knows it, and that doesn't come from Richard, the things that occur, even if I have him go do the things or have him bring the groceries in or whatever it may be. Sometimes when she's irritating me, I'll have him bring them in, But she knows that I was the one that did the shopping or something like that, and so, because they all notice when I'm gone, and I'm going like next month, so that's gonna be interesting. That'll be interesting if we're doing this, which I'm sure we will be. So I guess we'll have them here doing this sometimes, and then I'll be in New York doing these lives or something. I guess is probably what we'll do, because we can, they'll be doing ones. I mean, you can use the same account, I guess. You can log in on different phones. So, so that'll be interesting. I go for like 2 weeks, which is crazy when I come back. That'll be interesting to see, because it's insanity how bad it gets in 2 weeks. It's like almost close to like how it was, but it's like, but on a smaller scale. But like it feels like you're like, oh my goodness, we're back to like square one here. And part of why the house isn't cleaner than I would like it to be is because I do leave, and then when I come back, I basically start back at square one, because they start to get everything accumulated really bad again, of just anything. It's crazy here, because all of them just gotta like let it go, and it just gets crazy. And I come back and I spend a lot of time just getting it back to kind of normal again, and then I often have to go again. So. But this time we got it really good with the new bed. If we can help with avoiding bringing in old comforters and things. But I'm really hoping that if I'm going to try to really say, okay, here's my issue. This is my other issue, that no one's like, what? Annette really doesn't like me in her room that often. Not like she doesn't like me in there. It's her room. She wants to be in there. She doesn't like anybody in there. The amount of time we do a vlog is insane for the amount of time she lets us be in her room. You guys don't understand. With Annette, it's like a 30-second, minute-long thing usually with her, and she's out. She don't want. So we're like, hey Annette, hey, always like, hey, and she's like, gotta go. The fact that she sits with you guys is insane. So I want you guys to know, like, that is insane. You guys are helping her so much, because she does not like to sit still. She is such an active person. Her brain is so active that she's just go, 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 go. And she also doesn't really like being around people for very long.
Oh, they're placing a bet that you're vegan.
Vegan is like the opposite. But you know what's funny? I was vegan when I was young for a long time. And that's when I actually was the fattest. Vegan don't make you fat. It's not a way to lose weight. Keto's the way to go if you want to lose weight. I do keto. Anyways. We'll stay away from diet. Let's go back to, let's go to the diet, but that usually loses half the crowd. I lost my train of thought. Vegan? No, I eat only beef. So kind of the opposite. I'm like carnivore. My bunny is a vegan. I wouldn't eat my bunny though, I'll tell you that much. So I'm not, okay, I'm part Native American. My great-great-grandma was Native American. And so I just kind of have this thing with nature that I feel that if you need to eat an animal, and if it's like if the animal's not tortured anyway, so I like to do organics and make sure, like the animal has the best life it can have, and grass-fed and all these things for my beef, then I feel it's okay to eat animals. But I do not feel it's okay to eat animals if they're being tortured and stuff. And when they do show these things, then I don't eat animals that are in situations like that. I choose to eat the best quality of meats that you can get, which would be like organic grass-fed, because that also means the best care for the animal. If you also look at not only are you getting the best meat, but the animal is having the best treatment. And I do. Oh, don't chew on that. Speaking of animals, don't chew on the cord. Don't chew on the cord. Don't chew on the cord. Don't chew on cords, please. Come on. Come on up with me. Get your bum up there. He's got a new thing of chewing on cords. We got way too many cords in this room. Problem is, he really doesn't want to be in his house right now. He really wants to run around. Nope.
Nicole would like to know if you've been asleep yet.
No, I'll sleep in a minute. I know what time is it? Today has been a day. It's crazy. I mean, it's all you guys. Like I was saying, oh yeah, that's what I was saying. You guys have been helping Annette because it's insane. It's very it gives you a lot of energy when there's a community of people, you know, and it's fun I'm not really the kind of person that likes to meet people in person that much. I'll do it a little bit, but I'm not super social. I'm a family person. That's why I really have no problem being here. Other than the disgustingness of it, if we could take away the dirtiness of it, then I wouldn't mind everything else, you know? The dirtiness, it really tests me because I'm really OCD, clean freak, like and so is my family. Like we were like military, and I was like, I got honor grad in basic training, which means there wasn't even like cotton ball on a sock during an inspection. I had like perfect everything, always, for the entire basic training. I was like insanely, like my uniforms were perfect. I was so clean. I'm so clean that if I live alone, my life would be so boring because I don't even make messes. I'm insane about I'm like, don't even make a mess. I'm like, well, as I do things, I just don't even make a mess. Cool, don't actually make a mess. So I'm like so that way, and over here, like, I mean, could anybody throw out a can after you drink a soda or something? Anybody know that there's trash cans? That trash cans exist other than me in this house? That things could go in trash cans? That someone other than Joy could put something in a trash can? No, when I come back from New York, it's like, I'll get all rich when I talk to him on the FaceTime. I'm like, throw out cans. Because we do that. He used to do the Diet Cokes too, but I got him on top, so we do just waters, but that's accent. I think my toilet is running. Hold on a minute. Our toilet still isn't great, and it runs all the time, so give me a second. Not glory. I mean, everything in this house is broken in some way, even if we've kind of fixed it, it's still kind of broken. I don't know, make sure it's appropriate. Man, I cut myself when I put together the bunny house yesterday. That one I got myself good on, like a screw, but, you close that door. It was like on a screw, but it like went, you know, like the sharp part of the screw. I wasn't even screwing it, it was, I was taking it out of the package. That got me. And then today I had to keep twisting on that bed. And did you know how you have those little things that's just like a paper cut kind of thing where it's like, it just hurts, like the Dickens. I'm really hoping, speaking of, to go back to my money, to just jump topic after topic after topic, but that's me and my crazy-headed mind of mine. I'm really hoping my buddy is drinking water, because I have one of them bottles that they're supposed to use, and then I also put a bowl with water. But I only saw him drink water like the first day, and then it was like I've never seen him drink the water again, and I see just stuff in the water all the time, so I clean out his water, and then I'm not sure the bottle's been touched, and I'm like, I hope he's drinking water. I mean, I guess he has to be, since, so, but it's weird, because like he got so mad that one day he wasn't doing anything, and I'm like, oh my goodness. So I hope he figures out that bottle. I don't think he's figured out the bottle. How do you get a bunny to figure out their water bottle in their cage? Do they just figure it out? Does anybody know? That's why I don't read the comments. Like, read the comments. I look for 5 seconds. Like, I actually hate her. Quack quack. She don't read chat. If they're thirsty enough, oh, there's a good one. If they're thirsty enough, they'll drink it. I have a bunny. Okay, there we go. Follow the water. You never know. See, I'll catch you off guard.
She used to be an instructor, so look out.
No, I am gonna start reading comments because as you can see, I just figured out. Okay.
Well, most of them are kind of.
You know, I had bunnies when I was young, but I think my parents just kind of like took care of all that part of it. That's why I think my mom got rid of my bunnies, and she was like, acted like it was my idea, but she was. I could see she was like, "You didn't clean the cage. I had to take care of them."
They're
So
pretty
that's why I started leaving. Friday nights is not best time to read the chats, anyways. Problem is, I feel like I think it's because I have a bright light right here go around my thing. I have one of those lights that go around your phone, but it's not one of those probably good ones that most people have that are like nice. I think ours was like $10 or $15, so it's the lighting is like blind you as you're talking. So that's another reason why I can't really see the things very much. Oh, like those are great comments. Listen, oh, heroin. I mean, do you really think someone on heroin would do like all day blogging? Have you ever met people on heroin?
That's hilarious. That's really funny.
I mean, the point of heroin is usually to go to sleep, I would assume. Actually, I've never done heroin. I've done cocaine. I've never done heroin. And I would ever do weed, so I don't do illegal drugs. Sorry, I don't even do medication. I don't do any illegal drugs, okay? Or any drugs at all. But no, it's funny to think that someone on heroin would do a blog all day. They, I think, just sleep. That's what I think the point of it is to kind of knock out. Anyways, so, but it's just funny because people always want to say that people on social media are doing drugs when the bloggers are not, because you would know if they were, in the sense of like that they'd probably be doing such ridiculous stuff that they'd be shut down, and they'd only be the people that got like really immediate views really quick because they did something really outlandish. But it would never be someone that was a continual blogger, because that's just not what someone. I mean, you have to be of sober mind, because I mean, you're going and talking to people every day. I mean, you guys would know if like all of a sudden just started like I mean, you can think I'm babbling because I talk a lot, but what I'm saying actually makes sense. If I was intoxicated in any sense, I wouldn't be making sense. And you might say what I'm saying you don't agree with, but I wouldn't say that. I mean, I think you can understand what I'm saying. I mean, I'm not talking gibberish, and I'm also not talking like illogical thought of like, I don't know if you've ever met people that are intoxicated, especially like someone that would drink alcohol. I don't drink alcohol. You know, it starts to, for one thing, they repeat themselves over and over and over. And they don't think that they did. So if you've ever been sober around someone that drinks alcohol and they're like, oh, so we're going back to the name again and the whatever. Like, especially if we just met someone, like, all right, we're going Groundhog Day again. So it'd be pretty obvious for if someone was blogging. So it's just funny, but that's what everyone jumps to first.
Hey,
You know.
I want to know how I made it.
Oh, can you let me know how much she did?
Well,
She
she
on a minute?
took off for a walk.
Okay, and I went for a walk, but she was loving her bed. But we had to just take off all of those blankets. Gloria put on and the pillows, and I got them out. Oh my goodness, she put all of that stuff in the front yard today. Can you believe that? Like, seriously, this is insane. I was blogging about the fact that I thought I had gotten her to maybe start using the backyard to dry things and to like air things out, and especially our bed bug issue. We don't need to air it out to all of our front yard neighbors. We're already such an embarrassment to the neighborhood, and we live in a really, really nice community, retirement community. And she put it all over the front yard. I don't know if you guys saw there's like a short that my husband put up. I didn't even know. I didn't even know until like right before I got on this vlog, because I had to go to work and I didn't see it because it was dark, so I didn't see it. And we actually don't really see the front yard when you go out the garage. And I saw it first on the blog, and I was like, is that still out there? He's like, I think some of it is. I'm like, oh my gosh, can someone go get that? This is insane. Like, we are such an embarrassment. This is so. And I just can't believe. I mean, I'm like, why would you not? I mean, the backyard is so much bigger, anyways. And the front yard is like, used to be your garden, and she stopped gardening, and now it's just crap out there. I don't know what. Tried to clean it up one day, but it's just nonsense out there. And it's just crazy. So, but yeah, Annette she'll be back in a minute. She doesn't go on very long walks anymore. She used to go on really, really long walks, and that's why we'd get concerned. We'd have to go get her to make sure she didn't get like all the way downtown. But now she only goes for like 15 minutes and comes home, which is super cool, because I used to worry about her so much, like when she was gone. And so we'd set an alarm. I'd set an alarm for every hour, and so we'd give her like an hour and a half. But like by 2 hours, I'm like, no, time for her to come home. So, but we fought her a lot in the sense of like, we don't fight in that much. It's just more like a, she'll say no, and we say yes. But we've never ever, like, we don't get stern with Annette too much, like in the sense of like, there's a little bit of like, no, Annette, you need to get in the car, but never like, we've never yelled at her like with Gloria or something else. You can't, and that's very, very fragile. But Gloria's very aggressive, and she's just now acting all docile because she's all mad because she kind of doesn't really have any control anymore. But she's not a sweet person. She likes to like act all sweet when she's on camera, which is, we always laugh because as soon as a camera comes out, it's like Gloria changes as a different person. So you guys will never see her like how she really is, because now she knows the camera's out, because she's already like changed. Like she tries to, every time like we come out there, she knows that we might have a camera, so she like tries to act a little different. But so that's what today she turned off all the lights. She's been sitting in the dark ever since. She just sat in the dark out there, the TV on, because she didn't want us to come out there and film her. She's all mad because we asked her to take the blankets off that had the bed bugs on them. So whatever, I just don't even got out there. I'm like, so I probably need to clean the kitchen, but I haven't even got out there. I'm like, I went to work. I didn't want to deal with her. She sulks all day long. I hate this. It's like probably bed bugs all over my bed. So I have to sleep with, it's not this one. It's the reason I normally have I don't know if you can see it, I have this blue one all the time. I have to sleep with this blue hoodie. It's way bigger than this one. It's in the wash right now because I had forgotten I had to just put my stuff in the dryer. But I sleep like this with, and I zip it up. And I have to zip it all the way up. And I have to close it like this. And I have to put on socks. And I sleep like this and like this. And I cover myself to try to not get bit by bed bugs every night. I can't sleep. I have to completely cover myself, and that helps a lot. But I always wake up with them already in my hood. They're already crawling in my hood, and they're all over me. So every time I get up, I have to get up and get them all off of me. And so we have them just as bad as Annette's. Nah, hopefully as bad as hers. That was really bad. I know we don't have it as bad because I've cleaned down there before. Ours is not like that on the floor. But yeah, it's pretty bad. It's disgusting living here. And I do not want to live here, but Annette won't leave because she wants to be with Gloria, and Gloria won't leave. So we're all stuck in this house. Like, we can't even leave this house. And we can't really leave this house even if Gloria wanted to leave, because this place, Annette, I was like, where is he? He's in his cage. Good. I was looking for my bunny. He's in his cage. That's good. That's a good place for him, because then I don't have to worry about him chewing on cords and stuff. He's eating lettuce in his cage. I don't worry. Yeah, they are so. Annette feels very comfortable here, so she knows how to get around Vegas really, really well. And I feel like it'd be really scary for her to go to another city, and we wouldn't want to go back to Oregon because there's just nothing there. But I would want to go to New York, but that would just be too much for her, and so we're kind of stuck here. And she loves this house, and she already lost her other house, so she don't want to let this one go, and she really doesn't want to let that Porsche go either. So there was just a couple things that like they're kind of like we can't even like we couldn't even sell the Porsche even when we needed the money because Annette was like we ultimately like it's her car, so we ultimately always will ask her even though it's not really her car. So people are like, is it her car? It's not really Annette's car. It's actually Richard's car. He's the one that bought it originally, but then it kind of got passed down to Annette, and she drove it at some point, so she believes it's her car. But we let her believe it's her car too. So now she's very attached to it, and so at this point it's her car, but she'll never drive it. And I don't even. We'll probably drive it a little bit if we ever get it running again, but not much. It's pretty much just gonna be a garage. But it means a lot to her. And so when when we first were trying to figure out, how Gloria was going to get some of these bills paid off early on, and we were like, I don't even know how we're going to do this, because she has so many. We just slowly tried to work it out, paid some of them with payment plans, so paid some of them we were able to get loans and credit cards and things. I mean, we've had to really stretch all kinds of different things, and I've had to go back and forth to New York and stuff to try to pay off Gloria's bills because she got so behind. They're insane. But Annette did not want to sell the car. Not a chance. I mean, that was just a big, big no on that one. She got very upset at even the idea of that, and then so it's kind of crazy because Gloria was going to sell the car. And she would have been very disturbed by that. And she was actually very upset the entire. It was like in that like a year or two. It was crazy. It took forever, and then they didn't even fix it. And $10,000 later. And so Annette was very upset the whole time it was gone. She was so happy when it came back. I mean, she was so upset. I remember the day that it left, she was like, come back soon, come back soon. She was like waving the car. And then it took like forever to come back, like a year. And I felt so bad. Because she kind of kept thinking we were lying to her, that like we had sold it or something. I think because it was early on, she, is still building the trust with us. So there was like a lot of things that like we kept telling her they were coming through, but they were taking so long. Like this bed, we've been telling her that we were going to get her a bed for a really long time, and we just haven't had the funds to get it. And we've been getting it in pieces. That's why I had all this stuff in the garage. We were ready, and we actually have been. We had even more of the pillows, but we brought some of them out early on because she had such a bad thing. That's why those ones we were like, we gotta go. So we are gonna toss them all, and we started again. But we had just put them in there like 2 weeks ago, but they were part of this process that we've been stacking up. The mattress we got like a couple months ago, I think it is now, and everything's been stacking up in the garage, waiting for us to get everything ready so we could bring it all out and actually try to get the whole bed bug thing done. And so then when Gloria almost ruined the whole thing again by bringing in the nasty blankets again, that was super not helpful. She's like, it'd be awesome if she was just not helpful, but she's actually detrimental all the time. Like that was super, like that could have just really messed up everything. And Richard did have to go on the bed and already like try to remove all the bed bugs off of the ones that had already just like crawled onto the bed after this process. So that was fantastic. Super stoked about that. Yeah. Okay, so my bunny likes to. I put these bowls. One has like pellets, and one has like hay, or one has pellets and hay, and one has like greens. Like I put like lettuce and stuff. He likes to stand in them while he's eating, and then poo in them. When he could like poo into like the cage so it went down, he likes to poo in the food that he eats. Is that normal for bunnies to poo where they eat? Like why are you standing in the bowl, pooing in the bowl where you're eating the food? This is the bunny I'm talking about, okay? People are confused. I think he does this thing now where he flaps his arms when he wants something. Like at first he was doing that when he had anxiety, but that was a different thing. And now he does things like, oh, I need something, so then I have to figure out what he needs to. But I'm getting pretty good at it, but he's a little bit demanding. He's a pretty needy little buddy because we're going to spoil him rotten. So, I mean, he already has like us wrapped around his finger. He just runs back and forth from me, Richard, all day long. He's like, and he comes up, he'll cuddle your little neck and stuff. He's so sweet. And then he like jumps off your shoulder, runs to the other person and does it, and then he runs around. He's so cute. But I am a little nervous with him being in the room because there are a lot of wires and things. But I try to just kind of pay attention to him when he's in. Again, he's in his cage, so he's good. He goes into his cage now, so that's cool. Because we got that little hutch where he can like climb up the little ladder, and he's got his little house and his cage, so he likes it. But anyways, thank you guys. I was saying earlier, you guys have really, really helped Annette because it makes her feel like she has a purpose and a job. And in the morning, whenever that's going to be, because it's already like midnight, we are going to do a scope at I keep calling it a scope because we were talking about Periscope earlier. And when I first, this is kind of the first like social media platform I ever kind of like went on where I kind of did something similar like this, and I haven't done this in years, but I'm really like to this level. But I did that back then. I tried to, but I was okay. You think I'm like excitable now? Like I was even more so. Like, I don't think people could understand me, and I will be probably less excitable, if I continue doing this. But I was really worked up about this whole bed bug thing, and it's still not solved. But that was insane today. Like that really grossed me out. I don't know if anybody's watched the video. Like I was freaking out when I first saw. Like, oh my god. And I'm telling you, like I'm like a total like things like that are really really hard for me to deal with. Okay, I'm like someone that like I love organization. I can totally organize things. Like I love organization. Like I just get off on like making sure everything's tidy and stuff. But things like bugs and things like mold and things like just I don't know, things that are like that, like the even dust and stuff, and it's like really gross dust, like when it's like that disgusting when it's stuck on dust that's like builds on everything, like in fans and stuff like things like that just really really send like shivers up my spine, and it's really really hard for me. And I don't think they realize the level because they grew up like in this environment and I did not. I grew up in my mom was like super clean, like did like 3 loads of laundry a day and like did all the dishes before you were even done eating. And she would take your plate and be already cleaning it. She was so tidy and so clean, and I had both military parents. They were both had been in the army, and then I ended up going in the Air Force, and just very tidy. And my mom got rid of my bunnies when I was a kid because they were too messy, and that bothered her because she was so clean. That's why I'm like, I'm not gonna be like her. So because like the pee like irritates me, but I'm like, I'm not gonna be like my mom. I'm gonna just deal with it. I'm gonna clean it, but not be like overwhelmed by like the fact, okay, it's just a bunny, I know, but I can't stand when. This is why I don't like. I love animals, but I don't like pets because I don't like the pee and poo in the house. It's like I love my outdoor bunnies because I love that they do that out there, and then I can just say hi and stuff. And I am obsessed with this bunny, but it really irks me that it keeps peeing on everything. And I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna deal with the fact that when I walk in my room, it smells like urine, and that drives me like insane, like. But I'm like, the bunny's so cute, so what are you gonna do? But yeah, I don't think they realize the level of like this house. Sometimes, like I said, I will not walk barefoot in this house, ever. Ever. Like sometimes I freak out if I can't find my shoes right away. I'm like, where are my shoes? I put on these flip flops are just getting just as dirty because I wear them all the time. But it's like, at least the top never touches that ground. One of these days we'll get all this carpet out of here. It's so bad. I mean, this is after a year of like doing stuff all the time. Like what you're gonna see is just like, I mean, like first was just to literally de-hoarding this place. You couldn't walk in this place. I mean, there was like no floor. There was no nothing. Anything that could have something stuffed into it had stuff in. Like every drawer was packed so much of disgusting stuff.
Stardust wants to know if there's still rats here.
Oh yeah, of course. You think we had solved that issue? That's why I was freaking out at the beginning of this. Oh, you guys, the ones that came in late. I was like, he brought up that like, Richard brought up that my bunny could have gotten into one of these traps. Can you imagine? That would have, oh, yeah, because we still had traps till today. Richard just deactivated them all. Yeah, because we still have mice. But not nearly like we did. We have like a couple now. And they're kind of our pets now. And then one of them lives in the kitchen, one of them lives in the garage. But no, this is not. These guys you only will see if you wake up in the middle of the night and it's really dark and you go out there and you turn on the light in the kitchen and you'll see like one scurry. But it used to be when you walked out there with your flashlight, because you don't ever go without your flashlight then. Good Lord, don't even step 1 foot without a flashlight at that time. Because you probably would have stepped on a mouse's head. Like probably 5 of them as you tried to walk. So you'd bring your flashlight till you could get to a light switch. And I usually try to keep as many lights on as possible because the more lights, the less they came out. But they came out all the time anyways. But they came out in the middle of the day. It didn't matter. But at night, it was insane. So you go with your flashlight. And then when you went to the kitchen, when you flipped on the switch, it was like thousands of mice would swarm away from whatever. Like Gloria had this thing that she used to keep food on. It was like this little shelf-like thing, and they would swarm it. And when you turn on the lights, they and for a while they have to tumble off the thing. Yeah, it was that. And you just wait because they didn't, they would go if you came in. Yeah, that's how it was. It was insane. No, this is no exaggeration. The cops came and they were freaking out when they came in the house. Like I'd never seen cops scared to the level of, and they couldn't take it. They were like, "Can we go outside and talk?" Oh, you don't want to be in here either? Because I was trying to say that it is an unsafe environment for Annette. I called the cops on Gloria several times because, like, how can you have a mentally disabled person living in something like this that's overtaken? And this is okay, and like she's getting paid, but Social Security supplement to take care of her the $900, which is not super helpful, whatever. But still, I'm like, isn't that like I called many times, and they came in. And they wouldn't do anything, but they couldn't even stand in the house to even have a conversation with us. It was that bad. They were like, "Can we step outside?" And even when you went into the garden, whatever, maybe 12 years ago, they were in all the bushes. So they were like, "Can we go outside of this, out by our cars?" Like they had to talk to us because he was so. I mean, I'd never seen cops scared like that. Because the cops are pretty tough. They were like literally jumping out of their skin, like jumping out of their boots, and we did it too. But it was funny because it was insane. Because I mean, no one, like people can handle a lot of things, but those things are like, it's like really pushes people. And Gloria and Annette literally acted like it didn't exist. They were just like walking around with like, they'd crawl over Annette. And I'd be like, is this happening? Am I living in a Twilight Zone? Like, what is going on? And then they would say that there wasn't a problem. But then Gloria would be all happy that she killed some mice. She's so weird. But then she'd be like, oh, we don't have mice. I don't know. It's like, you never know with her. It's like, Jesus. I don't know. We don't know what's wrong with her. It's the problem. Like, we don't know because this isn't an old age thing. She's always been this way. Like, she's always just been nuts, but like, no one knows what kind of nuts. Like, so it's just like, And she has her moments where she kind of seems a little bit sane. So we're just like, and she won't ever go to the doctor to figure out if she could have a problem, you know, like. So like we're like, do you want to go like talk to a counselor? So you have someone to talk to, you know? Because I mean, your husband died, and your son died, and your daughter's schizophrenic, and you have your daughter-in-law living in your house that you can't stand. Nah, I mean, Gloria, we have a love-hate relationship, but she's like, oh no, I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't have anything wrong. I would have no reason to talk. All right, Miss Perfect. What's funny about Gloria is she always says to us, like, if we do correct her, she goes, sorry, I'm not perfect. We're like, perfect? Why would you even put your name in that same word sentence? Like, we weren't even, I mean, perfect is just like, I mean, Gloria, that wouldn't even be something that we would even like think could be possible ever. I mean, it's not like, so like, it's insane that like she thinks that she's like close to perfect. Do you know what I'm saying? That's where we're like, if you're thinking we have an issue because we're like perfectionists, I am a perfectionist. That's what's funny. But this is not a perfectionist issue. We have all these people watching because you guys haven't even seen houses to this level. It's insane. It's insanity. And then she's like, sorry, I'm not perfect. We'll make sure to lower the bar for you a little bit, Gloria. We had it set real high. But it's insane because it's the, when people won't like accept. The reason why I talk about Gloria so much, because it's so connected with Annette. Because when Gloria acts out, it affects Annette so much. It affects her so much. And she hates when me and Gloria aren't getting along either. And so I try to always get along with Gloria, but sometimes I just can't do it. And Annette would love if we'd go like hang out with Gloria, but like not even Annette wants to hang out with Gloria. No one does. Like no one wants to be out there. Gloria has a really negative energy, which is really unfortunate because you guys can see where she can light up, but like she doesn't choose to be that way unless she's on camera. And we know she can be that way because when she's at a casino, she's that way. But like the rest of the time, like once the camera goes off, she just turns into the sulkiest, nastiest. Like she literally glares at us, and like I go out and I'll say hi, and she just like scoffs at me. I'm like, so then like, but now if we bring up the thing, we'll go like, oh Gloria, they love you online, and then she's like, oh really? And then she'll start perking up, so you guys like make her want to talk to us, but otherwise she just like, I don't know what, she like hates us. But what made me mad today is like, she never happy when Annette's doing better, and that's unfortunate, you know? Because she should be right now feeling so great that Annette has like the best bed Annette has like ever had in her life. That's literally like the best bed Annette has ever had, and they were very wealthy. She should have had a nice bed. They've never gotten a nice bed. Annette's always kind of just been like spoiled in a weird way and then neglected in another way, if that makes sense in any way, because she was always like given like tons of clothes but not anything that she actually needed. So like it would look like, and she was also like sent to like expensive college, and she went to a private school and stuff, but she was never nurtured for or cared for ever in her life. And she didn't actually get the things that she needed. She would just get the things she wanted. And that was always like, so her parents always gave her what she wanted, and she's never really been told no. And that's part of what our big issue is here is, my light went out, but, is we're now just telling her no for the first time, and she's actually really liking it because, when someone has no structure, and especially someone in her condition, they can actually really start to like structure, even if it means it's no and it's not what you thought you wanted to do or whatever, you know? So like she was used to kind of getting to do whatever she wanted, but whatever she wanted back then was just doing meth and hurting herself. So now that we've taken over, you know, her helping her well-being, and she kind of lets us help her. She like, you know, we give her medicine and stuff like, but she lets us like control that. We're in the sense of like we're gonna give it to her in the morning and stuff, but she chooses to take it or not. We cannot force her. You can actually never force a schizophrenic person or a schizoaffective disorder to take medicine. They can't do that. So maybe when she actually goes to the hospital, I think they're able to do it in certain conditions, like when she goes, and that's how she gets back on it. But we're not able to force her, and so once she gets off it, we can't get her back on it because she won't take it, and we can't force her. So that's how it always ends up. She has to get back to the hospital to get back on the meds, and that's what happened this last time. But this time, she went voluntarily to the hospital, which was pretty cool. Not super voluntarily in the sense of she didn't want to eat. She was being super anorexic because that's the thing she does when won't take her medicine. She also won't eat, and then she won't sleep. So Richard said, you can either eat or you can go to the hospital. And she said she wanted to go to the hospital. So that was pretty voluntary for her because she's never, ever, ever said she wanted to go to the hospital. So we felt that she was really kind of taking a move to, like, she did want to get back on her meds because she had been on her meds and she'd done really, really well in this. What happened is things were getting better around the house when she was on her meds, and then she got off of them because actually the doctor messed up and didn't send the medication to the pharmacy, but then the pharmacy kept telling us that they were gonna get it, and so like come back, and it was like it happened for like it went on for like a week's time of like we're trying to get her medication. That by that time we got it, she didn't want to take it anymore, and we were really upset because it turned out the doctor didn't even send it to the pharmacy, is what it turned out. So we had to get a hold of but the pharmacy kept saying they were like just waiting for it. They're like, oh, check tomorrow, whatever, we're getting it or whatever. So it was like that's a really bad thing to happen with someone like her, because once she's off it, she don't want to take it anymore because she feels really good when she's on it, but that's part of her condition is when she gets off it, she kind of thinks she's better, and I think she starts to kind of like, because I think there's a somewhat of a high to it when, because you know she gets she's very energetic when she's off her meds, so she can't even sleep, she stays up all night, because you know she's got all these things, all voices in her head, I guess you'd say, going on. But then when she gets on her meds, she's really sleepy, and so that bothers her a little bit. But lately, she seems to be pretty happy about her medication, which is cool because we don't want her to ever feel that she doesn't like it. And some of the medication she didn't like, and she really likes her new stuff. So her new doctor is really good, and he knew what to give her because she had some side effects from her old meds, and one of them was the hand thing, and she couldn't control her fingers, and she's getting it back now, and she's a pianist, so that'll be wonderful, and that was super helpful, and the other doctors didn't seem to know about that, so that was really, really cool. Do you want to keep plugging this one so I get my light back? I can do mine. And where's the little guy? Could you check on him for a minute? Well, I'm also happy because we got him some new hay today, so he's all happy. Okay, good. But yeah, that doctor was really good because Annette's, I think, the biggest thing that was really upsetting her is she really had no control of her fingers, so she couldn't even like cut steak for herself or anything. You know, she couldn't cut food, and so she couldn't even really like hold things. She would drop things all the time, and so she's getting her control back to her fingers, and that was it was a side effect of one of her meds that they put her on that was way too strong many years ago, and it had been affecting her for many years. Like she hadn't been on that medication for years, and it was still affecting her. So it was like some of those. That's the problem with these medications that are psyche medications. They can really have insane side effects that can affect people like for life. So it's really a big process. They have to go to try different ones and stuff, you know, but it's really scary every time because they can really mess you up, you know. And so I feel like she's on some good ones now that seem to work for her, so fingers crossed. But yeah, we're going to do a blog with Annette in the morning. She's really excited. She was a little bit bummed, I think, that she didn't get to do her blog today, but I had to go shopping, and then I really wanted to get her bed going because I knew it was just going to take so long today that I was like, we got to get it started. And and then she didn't want to do a blog later. She likes this morning blog thing. That's kind of So tomorrow we'll do that. Lights are just going crazy around here. Hey guys. That actually looks kind of cool. Kind of trippy. No, it's no good. Should I back on? I look like a vampire. Weird. It's weird. It's like it's like
How's that
trippy. It's
That's good.
no, it's good. But yeah, I need to talk. I can't believe you guys are up late. What is it? One. Well, who knows what time it is actually? 'Cause you guys could be anywhere in the world. Where is everybody? Okay, I'm gonna start. Okay, that looks terrible. It's like so white. You don't want the white. It's like blinding, and it makes you look off. Oh! Don't move. Bunny is between your legs. Hi, baby. He's gonna get stepped on if he's not careful. He's so fast. You really gotta watch it now, cause he. Oh, that's. But yeah, I can't believe it. I gotta get out for a second. I'm glad today. Yeah. All right. So Friday night, where are you guys at? What countries or what states? What cities? Where's everybody right now? South Africa. Wow. Are you in South Africa right now, or are you South African? Because it says South African. So like, you are right now in South Africa, and you are South African. New York. Oh, I love New York. What part of New York? I love New York. South Africa. Okay, wow, that's great. Vallejo, California. That's awesome. I'm from California. I'm from Placerville, California. From Little St. James. Where's that? Little St. James. I don't know what that is. Kingsford, Michigan. Debbie. I am Saratoga Springs. Where's Saratoga Springs again? I should know that. But Stardust. I'm South African. I was born in Pakistan. I'm South African. Television. Dude, man, that bed was horrific. Oh my god. Arkansas, Bailey, Arkansas. Sherry, South African. Wow. Are there more than one people here from South Africa? That's crazy. New York.
Time zone.
Oh, wow. Tokyo. Wow, Tokyo. Wow. Here we go, Tokyo. That's crazy. That's crazy about social media, you know? Like, you forget that people could be all over the world, but, like, you don't okay, I don't forget that people could be all over. Oh, there's a net. She needs stickers. I don't, oh, you can have a net say hi.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, let's have a net say hi. That would be fun.
Let's see.
It's not that I forget that people are all over the world. It's I forget that you guys are all in different time zones. That's what I forget. You know what I mean? So I'm like, oh, yeah, that might be why that person is here now, because it might be a more logical time in that place where they're at. And that's what I forget.
Sit down for a second.
Everybody's been asking about you. There she is. Yeah, they've really been missing you, because we're going to do a blog in the morning. They missed you. How you doing today?
Good.
Yeah. So, are you liking your new bed?
Oh yeah, it's really good. Yeah.
Yeah. And you picked out a new blanket. What color did you pick for your blanket?
Light blue or light green.
Like green. Oh, that'll be good. Good. They picked out a new comforter, so that'll be good. Okay, good. So you guys saw that. She's doing good. She's really excited about that bed. We've been talking about that bed for so long. I felt so bad. Okay, here we go. Where's everybody else? No, Annette's definitely not meth anymore. For one thing, when Annette's on meth, she's so skinny. She's like emaciated. Now we have a little bit of a problem because Annette keeps gaining weight because she's eating really poorly. And I'm worried because her weight is gaining quickly. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure. Wait, there we
Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
go. Oh, you forgot to okay, then. What's doing?
Sorry, I have to keep the door closed for the bunny.
The bunny. Oh, he's in his cage. He's in his cage. Oh, what is he? Oh, yeah, she's emaciated, but now I'm worried because I don't know how quickly it's been very quickly, and I don't know. I don't want her to because she likes to stay active, and I don't want her weight to get where she doesn't want to move because she's getting too heavy, you know, because she like, Nana, it was a runner. She's like was a track runner her whole life. So I know she likes to stay fit, and so I'm worried because she also was a little bit anorexic. So we try to be careful. We don't want to have it be anything where we're, commenting on weight, but we also want to make sure she's healthy. So there's that fine line, and right now she's kind of like living on a diet of sugar, which is really not good for her. And her weight has climbed very rapidly from when she first came out of the hospital, which she was way too skinny. She was emaciated. But so we have this fine line of like, where do we step in, and where do we definitely don't want to have her go back to feeling that she needs to worry about her weight in any sense. But we also are, like, in a sense, taking care of her nutrition, and I'm big on nutrition, and right now her nutrition is really poor. She's choosing poor options of mainly sugar, and that concerns me, especially for her condition, because sugar is not great for her. It's not great for anybody, but especially for her. And so, but it's a tough one because it's like, I don't know. So I'm just kind of letting it happen, but I don't know. I'm gonna probably have to start getting her on a little more protein. I don't think she's getting enough protein right now because Gloria's just not making enough protein. And I put the stuff out, but Gloria just does what she wants to do, and so I can only do so much because they don't want me to cook. And I've asked Annette if she wants me to cook her some protein, and she loves beef and she loves steak. And she loves when I cook it, but like they're on this new thing where it's like, oh no, it has to come from Gloria, because Gloria started really sulking more and more the less we let her be involved in things. So that's why she's sulking today, because she was mad she wasn't more involved in this bed thing. But we didn't actually try to leave her out. What happened is she went to the gym, but also like we usually don't involve her because she doesn't usually help, and she's usually detrimental, like what happened today. Whether we involved her and told her or whether she tried to help later, it's always the same result with her, and she's always in the way. So we usually just try to do the things on our own. But honestly, the only reason why she tried to involve herself this time was because she knows that there was a video going now, and she was embarrassed that she wasn't helping and that she was at the gym. But that's what she does always. She doesn't even talk to us usually when she comes back from the gym. So when she saw that there was a new bed being installed, she had to come and like dance on camera about it, and act like she wanted to help, and then literally almost sabotage the whole mission of getting the bed bugs out of Annette's room. So that was fantastic. But yeah, it's been such a whirlwind of a day. I'm actually getting really tired. But it's been such a good day because that bed. He's so funny. Sorry for my education. But anyways. How old is Annette? Annette is 50. Sherry. She looks really good for 50. Like, her skin is so good. And if she still had her teeth, she'd look a lot younger. And so we're so upset. She wanted to be a model. I mean, she was very, very beautiful. And she still is. But she doesn't feel very pretty without teeth. And I think her smile is so cute, but she hates it. So it's hard for her also to do the camera because she doesn't really like looking at herself right now because she really doesn't like that she doesn't have teeth, and it upsets her. And she doesn't feel pretty without her teeth, and so it's really unfortunate for her. That's why I get upset. That's the main reason why I get upset at Gloria, is it goes back to the teeth, because after that happened, like, it was really hard, and Gloria wouldn't even accept it, and Gloria still doesn't even cut her food as if she doesn't have teeth. She thinks she does. It's really weird. Oh, thank you, Rika. That's so sweet. I know she looks really young, huh? Sure. Yeah, no, I always thought she looked so young. I was actually kind of surprised when I realized she was 50. I kind of thought she was younger. Because like I said, I've been in the family for a while, but everyone always kind of kept me away from it. And I think he just loves me. He loves everybody. But it's just unfortunate because Annette could have been so successful, like, in the sense of, like, she, is a phenomenal pianist. She was, she has, her what was it? It was environmental science, I think is her, or what she got her degree in and stuff. I mean, she's a very, very smart girl. She's beautiful. And she is like, Annette is such a pure soul. Like, she's really, really good to the core, but she had so much anger that it's hard. Like, when we first got her, she was so angry, but I could tell right away that she was sweet. And so I never minded when she used to attack me because I knew it wasn't really directed at me. I knew that it was just she didn't know who this kind of new individual was in the house, even though I'd been around. I mean, we'd met several times, you know. And I mean, literally, I say like met because that's basically how it was. It was always like I just kind of saw her several times, and, you know, we'd do Christmas a couple times and stuff. But like, Annette was always just on the go, and then Gloria would always send her out and stuff. So it'd be like you'd see her for like 5 seconds, and then, but I always was worried because every time I would see her, she would be skinnier, and I would always think every year she couldn't get skinnier, and then every year we'd see her and she'd be skinnier, and I'm like, this is not good, and I was always worried about them. I always brought it up to Richard, and we would come over, and we were always around. I mean, in the sense of not necessarily like in the house, but like in their lives. Gloria used to text us about 1 million times a day. We actually used to have to block her sometimes because it was never like anything that we could actually help with. It was always just kind of insanity. So sometimes we'd be like, we just couldn't take it. I mean, it was just incessant. She literally texted anything that came to her mind all day long. Our phone just blew up with texts from her all day long before we lived here. But usually it was often asking for just constantly help her. Constant. It was like everything. Which we can see, I mean, they needed everything, but it's like we couldn't like do everything when like we didn't have the means either, you know what I mean? We've always been on a pretty limited budget, but we've tried to help as much as we could, you know. I said, like, when we were giving her money, we were stretching ourselves to give her money, and we were always trying to, you know, make sure they had all the things they needed in the house. Like we always got them washers and dryers and things and stuff. And finally the thing went out and we couldn't afford to get her one. And she kind of just expected us to always just get her things when they broke. And then it came a time that we couldn't afford the stuff anymore. And then that's when things never got fixed anymore. And it was like, she kind of just thought that we should just take care of everything. And we would have loved to, but that wouldn't have actually helped because all that would have done was just made sure they didn't have broken appliances, but that she was still going to not take care of Annette. And so we wouldn't have maybe even known to the level if like let's just say we made sure she paid her bills always, but Annette would have never been taken care of. And so like by now us living here, we were able to see what was going on, which we would have never ever seen. Because for one thing, there's no way anyone you could have seen the condition of the house, but you couldn't see everything that went on because especially Annette was so on the go and usually on meth back then that you couldn't observe what was occurring in the household of like what Gloria was actually doing. You thought it was actually more Annette causing the drama. But when you actually take Annette off the drugs and you take Annette back to, you know, her good space, like back on her medicine, you start to realize that most of Annette's things were directly related to Gloria. So especially the anger. I mean, when Annette has what she needs, she's not angry. She's a super sweet person, and she was so angry. I mean, everything that came out of her mouth was the F word, you know, and nasty things, and she never ever said anything nice, and she would yell and scream and kick, and I mean, she would scream all night long. She would keep everyone up all night long. We never slept. I mean, constant, and she would kick the walls and kick the doors, and well, she was in constant pain, and she would scream crying too. She would have these emotional just like outbursts of just sobbing, and she would we didn't have doors, so we would put up like sheets to like cover, and she would get mad and she would throw hot chocolate all over the sheets and stuff all the time. She was always like throwing food all over. That's why a lot of the walls are dirty, and Ned had a thing of like throwing food everywhere when she got mad. And breaking all the dishes and stuff. So there used to be so many more dishes. Good thing we don't have too many because Gloria would use all the bowls. But she always would get so upset, but she was angry because she had been neglected for 12 years, you know. So when we started to take away basically like these thorns out of her side, then she didn't have any anger really, you know. And now like her sweet self is coming back, and but what's going on is she's still feeling a lot of confusion because she knows deep down that like Gloria didn't treat her right, but it's still her mom, and so she feels like a fondness. But like it's not that I don't want her to like her mom, but she has to have an acceptance that Gloria did this because otherwise she blames herself because Gloria always blamed her. So she needs to realize that like it wasn't her fault, and even most of her condition is pretty much Gloria's fault because yes, she might still have her mental disorder, but it would never like the level that it was at would never have been there without the neglect and everything that happened with Gloria mistreating her and not being there and not being a mom like even her entire life. And so it got so bad when we first got here with Annette's condition that wasn't just like her schizoaffective disorder or schizophrenia or whatever it is that she has where they can't fully diagnose her because each day she gets a little better because when we started to take the thorns out of her side we start to wonder like how much like how normal can she become, you know, like every day we go like can she get back to like the way she used to be of like being able to maybe get a job again and stuff. But right now I mean she's loving this, she feels like she has a job and you guys are making her feel so important because Annette used to actually have jobs even when she was had her condition. She still had little jobs, like she worked at GameStop, I think it was called GameWorks. It was a little like
Video games.
yeah, video games that you go arcade. My thing is not charging anymore, just so you know. But I'll probably get off soon anyway. Just like, hey, my bunny, he's been so active. This is probably the time of night he probably runs the most. I think they do it at night, don't they? Bunnies run. Yeah, because it's nighttime. They like to go at dusk and dawn, right? And then not too late though. You gotta watch for the big birds, right? But anyways, yeah, it's just kind of crazy because Gloria used to blame Annette for everything, so Annette still feels like things are her fault, but like nothing is really her fault. Like she didn't really ever do anything wrong. She was basically just a victim of Gloria's abuse. It's insane because that's what she always will say, like, it's not me, or she doesn't say it as much anymore, but she'll say innocent and stuff because Gloria used to blame her for everything, and we don't ever blame her for anything. We're like, oh no, it's not your fault, that's not your fault. We always make sure to say, but she gets upset even when we're upset with Gloria, so that's where we're upset with Gloria because what she did to you. So it's like, if I wasn't upset with Gloria, that wouldn't make sense, really. I mean, because what she did to you is not right. And so I love you so much, Annette, that I'm upset with your mom because she abused you and my husband. So it's this thing, and it's like, yeah, we have my moments where I'm like, oh, she's cute and she makes me laugh and stuff. But then there's like that underlying thing of like, how did you do this to your children? Like, how did you let the bed bugs get to that condition? Like, where you just like totally neglected your family, and when you had a mentally disabled daughter, basically, you know, it's hard with Annette. We don't know that they call it schizoaffective disorder, but what's been hard is like for so many years she was on meth, so like they couldn't fully diagnose the schizophrenia, which I don't know which one is the more severe. I think it's schizoaffective, but they were thinking it was drug induced, and that's what you guys are even saying, and it's not. She without her meds, without drugs, without anything, just if she doesn't have her meds and she is on nothing, because we fully monitored her and she even got drug tested, she was on nothing, she goes. And so I thought maybe she would be fine without her meds. I was like, oh, maybe she can get, but no. But on the medication that she's on from her doctor right now, she's doing really well and she really likes it. And she's really open to take it in the mornings. And so I think if she stays on this, we don't know like what her potential could get to. But yeah, what you guys are seeing is her on her medication. So if she was not on her medication, there's not a chance she would do a vlog. Not even a second.
Oh God.
Not 1 millisecond.
Well, right before she
She'd probably kick over the camera and be like, KKK.
Well, she stopped. The big thing is she stopped
No,
eating.
she
stops
won't
eating.
eat and she won't sleep. So then her brain really starts to go wacky too, and then she starts to get really angry and she'll smoke incessant cigarettes, and she'll walk like nonstop. So she gets so emaciated to where it was really hard this one day because I tried to not ever, really tell Annette what to do. We kind of underlying, but we try not to ever be like, do this because she don't like that. So, and we try not to restrict things from her. But it got so bad when she was not on her meds that we had to stop the cigarettes. We were like, you have to eat before you have cigarettes. But the first day we had to do it was scary because to tell Annette no is hard, and especially when she's not on her meds because she is violent and you never know what she's going to do. And it's scary. And so the day that we did it, she was so emaciated that she had lost her voice. She couldn't even speak. I mean, she came to me and she was so emaciated she just walked like 10 miles, and she hadn't eaten in days or slept. And then she comes to me and she's like, yes, like that level of volume, like yes. I said, and I was shaking when I said it because I've never I said, Annette, I cannot give you cigarettes until you eat. I can't. You're getting sick. You have to eat, or we will not give you cigarettes. And it was the first time we had ever told her to eat ever. This was it's been a while now, probably about 6 months ago. I don't even honestly remember when that was. So this whole thing has been about a year, a little over a year, but I don't remember when that was when she first got off her meds and that happened. I can't remember what month that was, but anyways, I remember that I was shaking, trembling, trying to tell her this because it was scary. I didn't know what her reaction was going to be when I said, and we were getting worried about her because she was getting so sick. And I remember we had the steak ready for her, and back then we had to try to get her a steak, which is expensive, but it was the only thing she would eat when she was off her meds, which was good for her, but it was bad in the sense she got really skinny because she was walking, and then she was basically on a keto diet, but that was good for her sanity, but it was bad in the sense she got really, really skinny. But she loved steak and she wouldn't eat anything else because I had told her at one point that steak was good for her, and so she listened to me, and then she was stuck on it, and it is good and she likes it, but so I was getting insane. We couldn't afford it. I'm like, I literally can't afford to get steak for her. It's too expensive. But it was the only thing she was eating. So we were trying to get it for a second for her, but now we can't afford it anymore. But anyways, and she's not that anymore. She don't care. She'll eat anything. She eats anything now. It's so funny when she's on her meds. She's like, oh, Annette, what are you eating? She chooses the weirdest things. She goes and gets cans of food, which I'm glad she's being independent. But I'm like, she chooses the weirdest cans. She'll be eating just a can of beans or something. And I'm like, she wants to do that, that's fine. And she'll sometimes eat them out of the can, sometimes puts them, she knows how to cook. One time she made a steak. It was the weirdest thing. We all were sitting here, we were in our room and Gloria was on the couch, and we were all of a sudden, the steak, and I'm like, did Gloria cook a steak? It was a long time ago. And we're just I don't think so, because Gloria wasn't cooking steaks or anything back then. And she didn't even know how. And then I'm like, what? And then we're like, Annette, did you cook a steak? She's like, yeah. I said, okay. I had never, ever, ever cooked anything I'd ever heard in my entire life. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I made that for you guys. And we were like, well, I mean, we went over the top of it. We were like, wow, that thing, but we were just stunned. We were so every once in a while, these two would just out of nowhere, but then sometimes she won't even, but now she's getting more, she can do things. I mean, because she used to be, she didn't really get her illness or condition until she was in her 20s. So she does have the capacity, and every once in a while she'll catch you off guard, but we were just stunned, and it was actually really good. And another time, so she normally doesn't use knives or anything, or really good. Luckily, she used to actually go with the knives, but now, she doesn't like to cut things because I think her fingers are good. But one day I got a pineapple and Gloria butchered it. I got her a full pineapple, and I thought she'd know how to cut it, and she butchered it. And it was really bad, just the way she cut it, you know. And then, so, the next time I get a pineapple, Gloria's at the gym, and I set it out, and all of a sudden, Annette comes in, and she brings this pineapple that's, like, cut. And I thought it seemed like a weird way, and this is when I was still eating, I was bleeding thin. I thought it seemed like a weird way to cut it, because she basically just chopped off the top, and I don't even know what, she did something where it was like, but then when I ate it, I was like, oh my gosh, she kept like the entire like best essence of the pineapple. Like the way she cut it was like, everyone else like chops it and you like lose like all the flavor, and Annette like knew how to cut, like it was, I don't even remember how she did it, but I was like, it looked weird, but it was like the best way to cut a pineapple. And I was like, I don't think anyone's ever cut a pineapple like that. And they should. And I don't even remember how she did it. But she'll do things like that, and you're like, wow. And then like the other day, like I said, she'll put the weirdest things in her water. But the other day she had cucumbers in her water, and I was like, that totally makes sense. People do that all the time. All right, I got you on that one. But she used to put like olive oil in her water. It was a little weird. Butter in the water. That was a little dumb. She loves putting chocolate syrup. Just not doing anything. She was just, oh, cups are always full of chocolate syrup, which is super fun when you don't realize. And then you're like you go to like turn it over or something, and it's like, oh geez, oh, that's chocolate syrup, oh, over there. And she loves putting hot chocolate and chocolate syrup, but then she doesn't drink the things, so she has an obsession with getting cups. So I go and get all of her cups. So like right now, she probably has so many cups and Diet Cokes. So she does not just the Diet Coke, she cups all day long. So she likes to get water cups and anything else, and tea and hot chocolate and whatever, and milk and whatever. But anyways, cups all day long. But then when I go put them away, not too long, they all come back. But it's not like she goes like because I put them away. It's like, no, that's just what she does all day long. So like if you imagine when I'm not here, but they do start to run out of things. So the thing is, it might, I guess when she runs out of cups, but so I'm saying these two, like when they run out of the things, but Gloria will start putting things that were gonna go in bowls in cups when she runs out of bowls. So Gloria will find any utensil to make sure you have cream of wheat for everybody watching on here. Everybody come over for cream of wheat. We have enough for everybody every morning, I guarantee. And nobody in the house eats it except for Gloria. And Gloria probably eats about 3 bites of hers. So we have about a whole box of cream of wheat thrown out a day, pretty much. So that's super helpful on the budget. I mean, just things like that. But I'm like, I swear, if I don't get it, that cream of wheat will just keep getting put on the list. And she'll mention it to me over and over. Joy, I think you could get cream of wheat. I put it on the list. I saw it was on the list. I was just hoping you'd forget. I don't say that. I go, oh yeah, let me get that. So I do tests. I'm like, is it something I can get rid of? Like pancakes? Nuh-uh. Can't get rid of those, and cannot get rid of cream of wheat. Those two are a staple. And tea is not happening either. And that creamer ain't going. And she loves oranges, and she loves salad, and she loves rice, and she loves potatoes, and she loves whole milk, and you have to have 2 gallons of whole milk, otherwise she gets upset. But they don't drink, it takes them forever to go through 2 gallons of milk. They almost expire. But if I don't have 2 full gallons of milk in there, it's like, make sure to get milk. You have like 1.5 in there. You can't even fit 3. When I get 3, you guys get it all messed up. They get like falling over each other and stuff. And then you open all 3 of them instead of using the one that's open. So now I have 3 milks. They're all different expirations, all open. Helpful, I tell you. Super helpful. Yeah, but then luckily once in a while I'm thankful her sister comes over and brings the stuff, because it just helps me have to not get the nonsense. But that's where half the garbage comes from, is from her sister. I mean, she brings what no one wants after they go to the food bank, which is already the food that probably no one wants. So her sister goes to the food bank because they're just cheapskates. She can afford to not go. They're just cheap gamblers, gambling addicts. They can go to the food bank because they spend too much gambling. Anyway, sister goes to the food bank, takes everything that she wants out of the already garbage food, most of it. I mean, some of the food banks have nice stuff because Gloria used to always go. We had to stop. They had to stop. Gloria was going so much they had to cut her off and just to hoard the food. Ah, it's insane. Anyway, so we don't let her go anymore. One, she made us keep trying to take her, and we went about 20 times with her because she would make us go, and it was not the right location, not the right time. They wouldn't see her, and we were like, Gloria, we're not doing it anymore. No, this time, I called ahead of time, and it went, please, take me, please. Fine. So we drive all over Vegas, waste gasoline to get stuff that we don't need or want in the first place. And then we end up in the same result every time that we all drive back home and everybody's irritated. And now Gloria's like, they said they were gonna be there. We go through the Groundhog Day thing until we just finally cut it off. We're like, no more. So her sister brings over the leftover stuff from the food bank. But we were like, Gloria, I mean, she would make us take her, and it's just garbage food that she's gonna not use and throw out that other people could actually use. And I just hate stuff like that. I'm like, no, but I couldn't say no for a while about that. Gloria's like, we need it. How dare you say, you know, because she felt like that was how she contributed, was to go get her free food, was her contribution to the household, that a food that no one wanted, that she was taking from other people that could probably use it, that just went basically to the mice. So it was just this constant thing that we would spend about 5 hours driving around because she would make us check every location. Oh, maybe this one hasn't. No, that's not right. No. Did you call ahead like you said you did? Yes, I did. Then why are we driving to 5 different locations? Well, I only got an answering machine. Then that's not really calling ahead, if you understand what we're saying. What we asked was, did you have an appointment? Is what we meant by that. Apparently that we didn't specify. Calling and getting an answering machine is not making sure they're open and that you have an appointment. That's not what we were getting at. So we started to realize that's all that was happening. We didn't know that. We thought she was like calling to make appointments. She was getting the answering machine. And so if we said, had you called, we didn't know that you had to be so specific, but we're starting to realize, oh dear, you better make sure you ask every question. But then we'd be like, oh, so did you call ahead? And she'd, oh, yeah, so we get there. So then at one point on the ride, I think it was our final time, she's like, well, you know, I just get their answering machines. We're like, wait, you've just been getting their answering machines the entire time when we say you... Well, yeah, I mean, it's not like you ever could get through to them. We're like, so we just drive around for nothing. Oh, that's great. But yeah, and there were so many levels of things like that with Gloria that now she's all mad because she feels like we've taken everything away from her. Because we took away her gambling, we took away her shopping that was a nonsense. So like she used to just go like to like Walmart and buy nonsense stuff, you know, that she didn't even need. She is the worst shopper. Like we said she could go, but she doesn't like that we put her on a budget now. So she liked to go and just spend aimlessly. So if we go, oh, you can go to Walmart, because we've sent her Nanette to go to Walmart and then let them go shopping and stuff. But she doesn't like it because she has a limit. And well, we have to have a limit. We don't have much money. We're like this, and we have to give her this cash out thing. She doesn't like it's not cash either. So she don't want to go because she has a limit and it's not cash. It's a card that spends money. And you just have to make sure you don't go over $100 or whatever we said it for when they go shopping, or even $200. She don't want to do that. So, so she feels like we took away shopping because we made it so there was a limit and it's not cash. And we took away gambling, and we took away her hoarding, and we took away her getting that free food nonsense, really just driving around town looking for it all day long. So, and we took away her abusing her daughter every day. I mean, she was abusive to her, like every single day. She screamed and yelled at her and kicked her out of the house every day and just screamed at her all the time. Told her to shut up all the time. She would say, shut up, Annette, because Annette would scream and talk to the voice, and she'd be like, shut up, Annette. I can't hear my TV. you want to watch her novellas? So she'd tell Annette to shut up all the time. And she'd tell her to get out of the house and stuff and kick her out with a broom and stuff. And it was insane. And then she would, her favorite thing to do was to say that Annette hadn't eaten in 3 days, which we never really knew if that was true because that's what she said every single day. And, you know, we started to observe, well, she actually ate yesterday, so that's not true. You know, Annette would go a while without eating, but that's what Gloria said no matter what. And Gloria would almost say that now, except for it's pretty obvious she eats now. But it was like she just makes statements like she just gets stuck in her head. So her thing was, oh, Annette hasn't eaten in 3 days. And we're like, well, she just ate. No, she hasn't eaten in 3 days. Okay. I mean, it was always an issue. We were always trying to get Annette to eat back then, but it was just annoying because it didn't matter if she just saw Annette eat. It was like she just gets stuck on things. And finally, I mean, something she has to eventually get over. It was like, clearly she's eaten in 3 days. It's funny because I don't mean to, but Annette was so emaciated that now we've watched her go, which is so good. I'm so happy. But we laughed because it's just funny because we were at first like trying to get her to eat so hard. It was like literally Richard was having new not force feed her, like spoon feed her. So we get so distracted that it would be like you'd have to like put it in her mouth for her. Like you can't force feed her, so but it's like pretty much like, hey Annette, you want to eat? And she'd be like, okay, take a bite. But then if you didn't like do the next bite, she would like get so distracted. She'd just be sitting there and she'd start talking to herself and stuff. So you'd be like, Annette, you want another bite? And you'd like put it up to her mouth and she'd be like, okay. So like you sat there all meal with her trying to feed her, and that was the only way she would eat. There you go. You were loud. We could never force her. You can't force Annette to do anything that she don't want to do. So there might be a day she don't want to do a blog, and if she don't want to, she won't. Hopefully that doesn't come. She seems to really like it, but we can't force her to do anything, and we wouldn't want to. I like her to be very independent. Now we have put down some rules at times, like we said, eat or go to the hospital. But ultimately, if she said F you to us for both those things, there wasn't really much we could do. Other than we could not maybe give her cigarettes and give her, you know, we could cut off things of like, that's about the only control we had. It'd be like, we'd be like, you need to eat or you can't have cigarettes. But even then, she started to be like, F you, I don't want my cigarettes. That's how it started to happen. And then it was like, okay, that's not going to work. And that's literally about the only control we have over her. Because if she doesn't want to do it, we can't. And we wouldn't make her. And no one can. I mean, and Gloria never did either. I mean, no one makes her ever do anything. She's fully makes decisions. We try to guide her decisions because sometimes she doesn't make the best ones in the sense of like, I really wish I could guide her diet decisions because she's literally eating like just like Skittles and gummies all day and chips. And it's like she loves like Pringles, Cheez-Its, Skittles, and like those Haribo like little bears. Like she's obsessed with all those things, and I would not get them for her, but then she gets all like upset when she doesn't have them. So I like get them, but then I'm like, oh gosh, you're like living off these candies, and that's not good for her. But I'm also like, I want her to be able to make choices. So I want her to be like, I want to eat this instead of like, I don't want to be like, hey, you should eat this. So I'm letting her decide, but I have to find like, when's the line of when do you step in and try to guide more, or when do you just kind of like let her be? Because she normally, when she's not on her meds, she doesn't really make any decisions. She just kind of like is just aimlessly wandering around for the most part, and we're just kind of chasing after her and bringing her back home, and it's not really like, she doesn't, I mean, it's like, she's so out there. But when she gets on her meds, she starts to get so much more aware. So we have to be very careful to not like baby her in a sense, because she doesn't like that. And that's why I have to be even very careful when I'm cleaning her room, because she ultimately doesn't like the idea that we have to do it. She would prefer if like she could do it herself, or even if Gloria did it, and that we didn't have to do it in the first place. But so she gets embarrassed too a little bit, but she's happy though, and she's really feeling important about this blog thing. I think she was a little bit bummed today because she didn't get to do it this morning, but she doesn't seem to like to do it at night. I think she's got it set that she does it in the morning. That's her job, and we kind of told her that too. That in the morning. That's kind of her job, to get up and do her blogs, and everybody's waiting for her. And so tomorrow, I'm not going to do the talking, okay, you guys? So can you please, I'm going to just read the comments, and let's just talk to Net in the morning, because I'm done with talking, and at least for a minute, and she really needs to be the focal point tomorrow, because I have done plenty of talking in the last couple of days. And the first blog, I felt like I was explaining some things that I don't want to do again, like in the sense I don't want to have to talk about Gloria in front of Annette and stuff, so I wanted to just be like a blog of just like let's just ask Annette questions kind of thing, you know, and make her feel important, because she gets really excited about that. And when we're just talking about the household, she hates that. She really does not like any discussion of like how the house was or even how it is now. It's just, she just doesn't really want to go there. And so we have to talk about it sometimes, but the less I have to talk about it with her, the better, because she really would just rather if you guys just ask her things like, you know, things she likes or whatever, then not ask her like, hey, how's the bed bug situation? That stuff she doesn't like at all, you know, or like anything about Gloria. And she also doesn't like to talk about her condition. So I just want to write here kind of for the next blog in the morning, like, please don't ask Annette questions. I mean, I won't read it to her if you do, but if you're wanting to ask questions, don't ask about like her condition. Like don't ask like, do you hallucinate? Do you hear voices? And she don't want to answer things like that. And also, I don't know if she could vocalize exactly what she experiences, because we don't fully understand what she experiences. So I think we try to like put words on what it is, but unless you have her condition, you don't really know. And so she gets frustrated when people try to understand, because we don't. So the more you just treat her normal, that's what she likes. She hates when you act like she's different or ask her about her condition, because that makes her feel different, and she doesn't like that. So don't like ever think that like there isn't something that you can't ask her, in the sense of like that you'd ask a normal person, like, because she is like Annette. For one thing, this came on later in her life, so there was a time that she fully, you know, like up into her 20s, so like she's not stupid, and she, you know, has a degree and stuff, and so it's still in there. So she doesn't mind a little bit of like the baby talk, but she's also a super brilliant woman. So like the more like you guys actually ask her like smart things, she will answer, and you get really good responses from her, and she's really smart, and you can learn from her. And I used to ask her all kinds of things when I first got here, of like, and I would take her advice, and sometimes it would be like the weirdest answer, but like so cool. You're like, oh, okay. Maybe you had to jump between the lines a little bit. Like sometimes it'd be a little bit, but you're like, okay, I could see where you're going with that, because she is like, she's experiencing things and she's very smart, and but she just, the way she vocalizes it is sometimes very weird. So the words might not be exactly what you're like, but you're like, oh, okay, I can see that, you know. And so often you'll hear that, and she'll say things, and you're like, oh, okay. Or you'll just realize that she really was listening the whole time, and you thought she wasn't. Sometimes when she's kind of talking, that's why I'm very conscious of what I say when I'm with her, because people think when she's kind of talking to her voices that she's not listening to what like you're saying. Oh no, she is. She listens to everything, whereas her mother doesn't listen to anything. But Annette is like a sponge, and she can read, but you can't read these comments. I can't even barely read them. So she can't read the comments, and I can barely read them. And I think she needs glasses. But you know, until she was on her medicine for a long period of time, because it takes a while. So the first time we had her on her medicine was only for X amount of months, because then she got off of it, and we've only been here, like I said, for like a little over a year. And so now we just got her back on her medicine for X amount of months. But every like day, we don't know what the potential is of like how much better she can do with her meds, because she starts to feel better, and she starts to kind of like express herself more. And sometimes we're really shocked by the things that she's been saying or doing lately. And like, I mean, she even vacuumed today and stuff, and that was cool, and she helped me take out the mattresses and stuff. And And she's done things like that in the past, but it was always when she was on her meds. She would not do anything like that when she's off her meds. Forget about it. I mean, we can barely get her to even, like, okay, she'll knock on the door for cigarettes, but she'll be like gone before you can even get to the door. But then you think, oh, okay, she's gone. But then if you go to close the door, she's like, back up. She's like, she's just so fast. She's like, and she's not, that's not even when she's on meth. That's just her brain is going so fast. So she can't sit still. She hates to sit down. She sits for a second, gets up. And if she is sitting, the whole time she's going like, talking to herself, and there's like constant movement, like, she never relaxes. And it creates so much anxiety for her. And so, and you witness it, and it's really hard because you just see her like deteriorating. And we watched it happen, and we hated it because we knew as soon as she got off her meds that we were just waiting till the day that she was going to end up in the hospital till we could get her back on the meds. I mean, we didn't know how it was going to happen. And so it was actually kind of fortunate the day that she said she would go. Like, it was, eat or go to the hospital. And she said hospital, which she could have said neither, just F you, but she didn't. So it was really cool because I felt that she kind of wanted to get on the meds because she had known what it was like for a little bit with us being on our meds, and she liked it, and it was really great. I mean, she was having the best time back then. She was laughing because it was her first time kind of like feeling really good. She was just laugh all the time. And then she got off the meds, and then we just watched her deteriorate again, and it was really sad. And so, I mean, some of the stuff I realize it's difficult for Gloria, I mean, because it was difficult with Annette. I mean, it's very, very difficult. So, we don't totally fault Gloria for that. We don't fault her for the fact that, like, some things got out of hand. Of course, you have your daughter you're trying to care for, and it's difficult. But the thing is, Gloria has just always been neglectful of her children, and when she has the time and when she has the ability, she doesn't do things. That's what irritates me. So even now, when she could, care for her children, when she has the time, she doesn't. So then I go, it doesn't matter what excuse came up, like, even if you have the time, you don't do it. So I could have given you a pass for all of the times in the past, because I could even say, well, you, especially after your husband died, but she was that way even before. But I could say, I could see how it got out of hand, and it's hard with Annette. It's hard. I mean, it's a full-time job. But the fact is, Gloria will just sit on her ass and watch TV all day long. And when she has responsibilities, so I go, oh, well, so you just were always doing that. So it's not a thing of like you didn't have the time, you just don't ever make the time for Annette. But back then it wasn't even watching TV. Back then it was going gambling and always being out. She never wanted to be in the house. She was always trying to be out of the house. Because would you want to be in the house? Oh, that's the other issue. So during the time that Annette was living here, Gloria pretty much was always gone. She would pretty much come in and sleep on the couch and not sleep in. But so Annette was sleeping in the bed bugs all of that time. But Gloria was pretty much always sleeping on the couch, and she pretty much was never here. She always tried to stay out of the house. She was always busying herself with something, whether it be shopping or gambling or getting free food or meeting with her sister or whatever, gallivanting around, I like to call it. Well, Annette kind of lived alone in this torturous prison with the mice and the bed bugs. And they also often didn't have electricity, but also even when they did have electricity, almost every light had burned out and was nothing, and all of the fire alarms were going off all the time. The beeping thing. Someone's like, I guess there's still one that beeps in the kitchen. We don't even go out there long enough. I don't notice when I do the dishes because I usually wear my headphones. But we fixed all the other ones. I guess the one is still beeping out there, but they used to all go off. All of them were beeping. But they're actually really high in this house. This one I had to get up on the thing. There's like a shelf here. I had to get up there, and it's really high up. Like the ladder can't reach them. But yeah, everything was beeping, and then most of the lights were out. So it was dark. There was a plethora of mice just camping out, and then just having a heyday. I mean, they were having babies like crazy in here. They were just, they say Roach Motel. This was just like rat heaven. I mean, and they're not, I call them rats, but they were just mice, but they were the size of rats. They were like, usually you think of mice, it's like, well, these were like big guys. With big old tails, huge tails. It was insane. I was like, I didn't know mice had tails that long. It was crazy. But some of them were huge. This one guy was like huge. He was like this, like his body was like this long, and then the tail. I mean, they were like rat size. Bigger than my little guy over here. He's just in bed. He's just like literally watching me. He's so cute, my little bunny. Hi, Bee. Hi, Boo Boo. But Yeah. It's funny. I'm on a keto diet. I love when people always yell at me about that. But anywho, I think I'm actually about ready for. I think everybody else fell asleep in the house. We should fall asleep in the chair over here. I am tired. So I'm gonna jump off here, guys. But happy Friday or not Saturday. Happy Saturday. And everybody's just staring at me. Come here. We'll catch you guys in the net in the morning.